Manchester United. Manchester United's story was forged from tragedy. In 1958, the Munich air disaster killed 8 of Busby's young players. Manager Matt Busby rebuilt the club on one promise: play with glory no matter the cost. Locally, that generation earned a nickname still used today, the Busby Babes. 10 years later, United became the first English club to win the European Cup. The old legend was Sir Bobby Charlton, a Munich survivor who carried United's grief onto the pitch. The modern heir was Cristiano Ronaldo, who took Charlton's number 7 and turned it into a global symbol. The peak moment came in 1999. Down in the Champions League final, United scored twice in injury time to complete an impossible treble. Here is a fact many overlook. United still play in red, partly because Busby believed it made his players look more fearsome to opponents. Liverpool? Liverpool's story comes from a single stand, the Kop. Named after a hill where soldiers died in the Boer War, it became the loudest wall of noise in football. The club's philosophy was built in a tiny room called the boot room, where coaches passed down ideas for decades. The old legend was Kenny Dalglish, a player so trusted he later managed the club through its darkest tragedy. The modern heir was Steven Gerrard, a local boy who captained the club with the same one-club loyalty. The peak moment came in Istanbul in 2005. Liverpool were down 3-0 at halftime in the Champions League final, then came back to win on penalties. Here is a fact many overlook. Fans still sing "You'll Never Walk Alone," a song borrowed from a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, not written for football at all. Arsenal. Arsenal earned the nickname School of Science for playing football like it was engineering. Every pass had a purpose, every shape was rehearsed. The philosophy peaked under a manager obsessed with control, both tactical and personal. The old legend was Thierry Henry, whose movement made defenders look like they were standing still. The modern heir is Bukayo Saka, an academy graduate carrying the same calm precision under pressure. The peak moment came in the 2003-2004 season. Arsenal went the entire league campaign without losing a single match, a feat still unmatched since. That team earned a permanent nickname, the Invincibles. Here is a fact many overlook. Arsenal's stadium, the Emirates, sits on a site that used to be a waste disposal plant. Chelsea. Chelsea's story is survival through reinvention. For decades, they were London's nearly club, always close, never quite there. Then new ownership arrived in 2003 and turned stubbornness into a trophy machine. The old legend was John Terry, a defender who bled for every tackle and wore the armband like armor. The modern heir is Reece James, an academy product carrying the same relentless defensive spirit. The peak moment came in Munich 2012. Chelsea, written off all season, won the Champions League final on penalties in the same stadium as their earlier heartbreak. Here is a fact many overlook. Chelsea's crest features a lion holding a staff, borrowed from the family crest of a former club president. Manchester City. Manchester City's story is built on total control. For decades, they lived under United's shadow, mocked as the noisy neighbors. Then a football philosophy arrived that treated the pitch like a chessboard. The old legend was Colin Bell, a midfielder so complete fans called him Nijinsky after a champion racehorse. The modern heir is Kevin De Bruyne, whose passing turned City's chessboard into an unstoppable machine. The peak moment came in 2022. City scored 3 goals in 5 minutes against Aston Villa to snatch the title in the very last moments of the season. Here is a fact many overlook. City's badge still contains a small red rose, representing Lancashire, even though the club plays in blue. Tottenham. Tottenham's story is a promise, not a trophy count. Their motto has always been simple: to dare is to do. The club has built its reputation on entertaining, attacking football, even when it cost them silverware. The old legend was Jimmy Greaves, a striker so instinctive he scored on his debut for 4 different clubs. The modern heir is Harry Kane, whose goal tally rewrote the club's entire record book. The peak moment came in 1961. Tottenham became the first English club in the 20th century to win the league and cup double in the same season. Here is a fact many overlook. Tottenham's cockerel badge stands on a ball because their former captain kept fighting cockerels as pets. Newcastle United. Newcastle's story is a city, not a squad. The fan base, known as the Toon Army, has filled the stadium through relegations, sales, and decades without a trophy. St. James Park sits on a hill in the middle of the city like a cathedral. The old legend was Alan Shearer, a local boy who became the Premier League's all-time top scorer. The modern heir is Bruno Guimaraes, whose passion on the pitch mirrors the crowd that adopted him instantly. The peak moment came in 1996. Newcastle led the league by 12 points at one stage, a collapse still remembered as one of football's great what-ifs. Here is a fact many overlook. Shearer scored a Premier League record of 260 goals and still never won a top-flight title. Everton. Everton's old nickname was the School of Science, long before Arsenal borrowed the phrase. Their story is built on quiet stubbornness, a club that refuses to disappear even without recent glory. Goodison Park has stood since 1892, one of football's oldest continuously used stadiums. The old legend was Dixie Dean, who scored 60 goals in a single league season, a record that still stands today. The modern heir is Seamus Coleman, whose fighting spirit as captain embodies the club's refusal to quit. The peak moment came in 1985. Everton won the league title, the Cup Winners' Cup, and reached the FA Cup final all in one season. Here is a fact many overlook. Dean's 60-goal record has never been beaten in England's top division, not even close, nearly a century later. Aston Villa. Aston Villa's story is founding father status. They were one of the clubs that created the Football League itself back in 1888. Their crest carries a lion, a symbol of Old English football aristocracy. The old legend was Peter McParland, whose goals powered Villa's early European adventures. The modern heir is John McGinn, a tireless midfielder who has carried the club back toward Europe's top table. The peak moment came in 1982. Villa won the European Cup, beating Bayern Munich, despite losing their manager just weeks before the final. Here is a fact many overlook. Villa Park has hosted more FA Cup semi-finals than any other stadium in English football history. West Ham United. West Ham's story is a factory, not a fortress. Their training ground earned the nickname the Academy of Football for producing generation after generation of English talent. 3 of England's 1966 World Cup winning players came directly from West Ham's own squad. The old legend was Bobby Moore, England's World Cup winning captain and the calmest defender of his era. The modern heir is Declan Rice, another Academy graduate who carried Moore's leadership into the modern game. The peak moment came in 2023. West Ham won the UEFA Europa Conference League, their first European trophy in over 40 years. Here is a fact many overlook. Bobby Moore's statue now stands outside Wembley Stadium, not just outside West Ham's own ground.